All right, what's up, everybody? It's 1 o'clock Eastern Time, Thursday, time for our Bookmap stream that we do every week, so welcome back. We're going to get started with this disclaimer here, and we'll start diving into what this craziness on the chart entails. Material, information, and presentation is for educational or entertainment purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Any and all statements made on this channel are the sole opinions of Options Millionaire channel and should not be taken as financial advice. No financial decision should be made based on the material shown here on this channel. Put your big boy pants on and make your own decisions. Trading futures, equities, and options involves substantial risk or loss and should not be suitable for all investors. An investor can potentially lose all or more of the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading purposes, for trading, and only with those sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Trading is one of the riskiest, most difficult tasks one can undertake and must be approached with extreme caution. Do not invest any money you cannot afford to lose. Good stuff. Be responsible. All right, so we have got a incredibly strong trend up day today. The SPY is nearly $7 off of lows. We had a bit of a data posting this morning. We had that put an initial red candle liquidity grab, and then from then on it's been nothing but unicorn, rainbows, and roses for the buyers all the way up here. 15,283, and Nasdaq's got a little bit of red starting to form. And what I'm seeing now on liquidity, all the strong liquidity levels we're on this morning. They came on. We'll zoom out and take a look here, and if you see, they're starting to put on lower liquidity. But I want to zoom all the way out and track what we had this morning. So what happened this morning, and you can kind of see it play out, is that the data came out. We had this level down here at 15,080, and I was trying to tell the tale of Nasdaq this morning. It came down, transacted all this liquidity, immediately bought up, and when that happened, look what happened. Bam, all this liquidity started to pile onto the upside. Nothing to the downside. So they came up and wiped out that sold big level, and then bam, 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 just piling into the liquidity all the way up till finally we reached their 15,300, and now here we are. Now that we're up top, for the first time today, they're starting to put on liquidity to the south. 250 and then 200. However, even with that liquidity, the sellers are still quite weak. Even now, as we talk, this little bit of red showing up is still getting hit by the buyers. And it's making for very, very, very small retracements and very difficult to enter because it's like everyone's waiting for that big retracement to get those calls nice and cheap to re-enter, but it's just not happening. We haven't dropped more than a couple of points across the board all day long. 15-minute chart is incredibly bullish, nothing but green all the way up. So now we have to track the liquidity where it's managed. The only thing I'm seeing right now is the addition of 250 and 200. Up top, we had the 15,300 that was wiped. We still have a little bit up at 400, but it's pretty light and not managed. Coming up on ES. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's a hold music. You know what? I'll come up here and share my screen too. Share screen. And let's do Bookmap. Right there. 15. Go live. There you go. So now you also be able to see my Bookmap screen. All right, so what we're seeing here now on ES is a little bit of a difference between on Nasdaq. We've got 4460, and then these two icebergs that just crept on here about 15 minutes ago. And they're still kind of light still, but we need to be aware of those. It looks like maybe a grab of 4450, but what I need to see here overall are two things. One, managed liquidity, which we're beginning to see 4435, and shifting of the upper liquidity. If they start chasing that liquidity down, that'll be signs that it's ready for buyers to get out, and we're ready for at least a temporary retracement. Maybe 44.35, which would be beautiful. 15 points would put us right in that ballpark of a nice, healthy retracement. Start to buy and see if we're ready to go back up to 44.60. But you see already they're shifting this liquidity up, 44.35, that's managed. They haven't started touching this liquidity yet. They wiped up this 44.55, immediately put it back on, which shows that the buyers are still very much present in this market. And even on this stuff here, every time there's a red, immediately bought up. There's no room at all for sellers to take this thing lower. So whatever supply is sitting right up here, it's simply not enough for the buyers to take profit. Even after this crazy run, it's just not enough. There's still way too many buyers and strength in this market. Right here. So until that gives out, it's just going to be up, up, and away. I would love to get a little bit of retracement here, and time will tell if that will happen. So they chase this iceberg lower. So that's one indication of retracement. Chasing all these icebergs lower here, they want to get out of these transactions. They're not willing to wait for 44.55, and maybe this might bring us down to 44.45 and then 44.35. But that's the first indication there on ES that we might have a little bit of retracement. So 44.50. NASDAQ has 15,275, 15,200. It's been a bit of a day for me. I did not see this big move coming this morning, so I wasn't positioned for it, but I was able to make a couple of trades and make a little money. Didn't blow it out of the water, but like some people did with this move up, but I made a little money. And here we come on down 44.50, so a little bit of more red coming in. Can these sellers hold it for more than a couple of potatoes? 44.50 down to 44.45. How's everybody doing on YouTube? Yeah, hit that like button. Let the algorithms kick on more ways than just the charts. 44.50. 15,175. There's very, very light liquidity on Bookmap for NASDAQ. Definitely some stop orders come in about top of the hour, about between 11:30 and top of the hour. We had a lot of stop orders hit, 985,000, 530. ES, not so much, except for this one back here at 11:40. A little bit of red coming off. This is a prior pivot level on NASDAQ and ES, 44.50. Obviously, they're doubling down here on 44.60. You see this? So right here, they trimmed a little bit and started piling back on a little bit more, a little bit more. And then even right here at 12.45, they piled in even more to 687 orders, 44.60. So a little bit of appetite for this. And they continue to chase these icebergs lower. 240, 276 at 44.50. So continue to monitor this right here. NASDAQ still has this 250. What would that be? 243. That would put us... 243 would be beautiful. That would put us right in the ballpark, 30 points down in the prior consolidation before the move up. And would give us a good place to start looking to bottom wick. So, when are we planning on retiring? Never. Retirement's for the birds. All right, for 15,277. Nice little move down, SR5 here. ES is coming off 44.49. We have 12.10, 110. Overall, we've been consolidating for an hour and a half. So there's nothing crazy going on. But I'd love to take out 44.46, and that'll bring us down to about 32. And it would fill this liquidity right here at 35. So that would wipe out a lot of structure lower and put on a good, healthy retracement if we can get away from this level. A little bit lower, 273, 274, still dropping. Now NASDAQ's starting to make a move. NASDAQ just broke lower the pivot. ES has to get through 46 to get through the pivot. And here's 44.45, so that would be past this prior pivot right here. and that would take us down to 35. They're putting on more liquidity lower. What I would love to see is start to shift this liquidity down, and that would really drive us down to 35. That would give us some confidence. So far, no bottom wicks yet, which is a change of scenery so far from what we've been experiencing today. What indicator will you say that shows the most reliable divergences most of the time? Oh man, divergences. I don't really track too many divergences. The only real one I track is the difference between Nasdaq and ES. If one's a more outlier than the other, that'll give me a good indication of where to follow, and the VIX divergence according to ES. Other than that, I don't really track divergences unless we're in more of an upwards bull market, like RSI, TTM, whatever, what have you. Spoke too soon. There's the bottom wick on ES and Nasdaq. All right, still not much going on. $44.15 back up. All right. 44.51 Nasdaq is still hanging out here. I'll try to make some do of something here, but overall, we're just back in a consolidation. Maybe we can get something rolling here in the next half hour. If this bottom wick could fail, that'd be nice. What about oil? Let me take a look at oil. I've been a big oil, paying a lot of attention to oil, and they keep on putting on these major pops here. They've got this 69 on, but they are rolling up the liquidity as oil is absolutely popping today. What time frame do you use to enter at a trade for a sniper entry? 3 in the 5 minute. I'll track on the 3, move over to the 5 to kind of correlate, and then really confirm on the 15. If I can get all those 3 working together, that kind of gives me high confidence. 275 back down. $44.49, 274. I need that move down to 245. Microsoft is coming off 344. Man, DXY, the dollar has been absolutely crazy today, showing that they do not trust what J Powell said yesterday. Amazon is pretty much flat. Not all that much going on in Amazon, but everything else is rocking. All right, got a little bit more red here, NASDAQ. So watch out here, rolling off to 245. I do see them putting on this liquidity here, this little guy right there. They're adding double down from 243 to 251, so about a 10-point liquidity shift. Microsoft is coming off here too, and XLF, who has been quite strong today, just hit supply. So XLF created an imbalance, by the way, at 33.51 from yesterday. And guess where they topped out today? To the penny, 33.51. And they seem to be rejecting it. Very slow movement. That's the biggest retracement we've seen today, though, on NASDAQ. They're making their way downtown a little bit slowly here. They are shifting liquidity. Ooh, 15,200 being put on. So, starting to stack liquidity lower. Is this going to be a grab lower? Are they going to hurt both sides of the coin today? They've got 15,150 on. They're not anything up higher. Everything was rocketing. Professional Mr. 50, you cracked me up. All right, ES. So I'm taking a look around the block here. Amazon's not moving. We finally got a big retracement there on Apple. Apple gave back about half of their gains. Microsoft not quite as bearish. They're still hanging way up top. But I love this look right here. They start piling liquidity lower, and it's time to start making a move. $15,271, 270. Dropping on down. That would wipe us down to 240. How much time do you spend on creating your trading plan before the market opens? My entire pre-market routine is about an hour and a half right now. And that includes creating the SR levels and creating my look about town here. So it's more of a routine. I could probably shorten it up, but I enjoy doing it, and I like spending the time, perfecting my craft. So I look across all different time frames, volume profile, track the S&P, I track all the other derivatives of the market that attributes to any kind of plan or bias, and write all that down. I've got a little notebook I've got with all my notes on it for the particular week, session, highs, lows for the week, month, SR levels, macro levels, and any kind of outlier notes I'm reading around town I don't want to forget about. Yields rocketing, DXY coming off, anything going on in tech, that kind of thing. It takes me about an hour and a half. $44.48. So right now, NASDAQ does not want to give up this this bid right here of 275. Very, very light volume compared to what we've been experiencing, which is the middle of the day. That's fine. And they removed that 15,242. So once again, buyers buying the dip. The buyers haven't gone anywhere yet. Here comes 15,280, NASDAQ buying all the way back up. That's a 20-point bounce. And yeah, so no trades just yet. Just a bunch of, there's still nothing really of real confidence here other than just buy the dip. Which, I mean, we are, what? We got up to 58. 58 from 93, we're talking nearly 70 points. It took that guy back on. They took off this 243 though. 44.50, 15.285, and NASDAQ, there it goes. So now that they've bounced 20 points, 25 points, they're buying into this rally again. More buy pressure, even more so than the sell, and up we go. So no sell pressure. NASDAQ can't move 100 points down after moving 902 points up. NASDAQ can't move 20 points down without moving 902 points up. Coming up, 285. Liquidity, 15,300. Is it safe to assume a lot of this buy pressure is satisfied contracts? Yep. I thought this was going to roll up tomorrow, and they did it today. Incredible rally across the board today. It's one of the largest single-day green candles we've had on ES in a long time, and they're hammered the crap out of it. NASDAQ put on, although it's only 89 points, it's a little misleading because we've bounced off 1570. So we're nearly 200 points higher, 210 points higher from today's lows because we had a pretty bearish pre-market, and then they rocketed out of the information, the data that posted at 8:30. But yeah, so 3-day weekend plus quad witching tomorrow. I was looking for this move up tomorrow. It came today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Most likely consolidation or a pin into 4,400, 4,450 with this action today. We'll see what happens. NASDAQ coming all the way back up, 15,290 going back to 15,300. If they buy this up after they're rolling up this liquidity, 15,350. And off we go. 7th green day on NASDAQ, perhaps? Probably. Not only that, it'll make for, what, the 6th green month in a row? 4th green month in a row, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green weeks in a row. And every week it just gaps up higher. With increasing volume, too, so this ain't over yet. After reviewing my trades from yesterday, I learned 2 valuable lessons. Do not mess with my stop loss. Do not revenge trade. It's a great, great observations. Absolutely. 15,262 coming back up to 290. 44.51 ES. $52 back into consolidation. We have 92 there. There's a 30-point bounce on NASDAQ. Back higher, and that's going to take us higher. They just filled a 500 iceberg switching down. We got 260 at 44.55. And we're in this midday lull where there's not any great areas of high liquidity or pivots. We're just smack dab right now back to the middle of the consolidation with a very strong candle under very light volume. NASDAQ's going higher. ES is going higher. We got 15,293, 35-point bounce going for 40 at 300, and this will take us to 350. They'll put new highs in if that happens. Right on R5. Let me gotta get my R6 ready, shouldn't I? Bam, R6 is posted. $15,294 going higher as well. Think we'll need R7? Yeah. Have you published? So you published a great video on marking levels. Would you consider making a new video about how to calculate support and resistance levels? Yeah. I did a Zoom call over that to kind of give the deets and the know-hows and the strategy to my tier 2 crew to kind of throw them a bone. But yeah, I did a whole hour lesson live on going through and calculating using the volume profile, using the options chain, and using price action to derive not only the SR levels but the macro levels as well. $44.51. ES is coming back higher, 44.53. $15,296,297. That's a 40-point bounce on Nasdaq after a very weak open or a very weak sell-off. The buyers came in even hotter, and now they're going to 13. They're 15,350. If they take out 15,350, they're going to 400 a day. If they take out 400, right now there's no more liquidity up top. But watch out for 350, and then they're starting to bring in liquidity higher, and that'll bring us to 15,500. Can you calculate Nasdaq levels tomorrow? I'll try, but at this point, who knows? It's just every day it gaps up. This looks a lot like August of 2022. $44.55 ES is going higher. Nasdaq for 15,305, heading for 15,350. Right there. 20,000. Incredibly strong trend up day. Incredibly strong. MA's right there. So we have not spent more than a couple of minutes under the 8 EMA all day today on the 5-minute. It's crazy how strong this is. $15,301. $306. Here comes 310. That's a 50-point bounce almost. On Nasdaq, ES is going for this iceberg here at 44.55. They're put on this iceberg and shifting it higher, and they've got 44.60 up top. There's a fourth green candle in a row popping up to 55. 57 is the day's highs, and they'll take that out and go to 60, wiping this liquidity higher. Oil just took out 70.46. 15,325 up top. $307, 15,310. ES is coming back up here as well, rallying now, buying into this. So here comes the pop. The volume is building into this event. So as this pop back up, that was a liquidity grab lower down to 14,446. On this 4-candle move up, the volume is now increasing, which indicates we're about to pop the new high, and we'll pop the prior high, put a new high up to 44.60. Nasdaq's already put on 50 points. Now they're coming up to 15,325, and they'll take out 15,350. That's a 52-point move on NASDAQ, also under increasing volume. Buyers not shying away from that move. There's 44.55, just filled another iceberg. Crazy stuff. What are settings for the volume profile? For the Lux Algo profile, I have a 500 look back. 500 look back with 200 row size, which is treats me pretty well. $44.55. If Nvidia breaks 430, look out. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Yeah, they're rocketing here too. 44.33 is their prior all-time highs. They've recovered all of that red this pre-market. They'll probably end up 450, 470 by the end of the day. Google's coming back up. Meta just popped up again to 279, maybe 280. Apple's starting to recover on a V format, and 18595 is their high. $44.56. NASDAQ heading higher, 15,307. And they're building volume into this. They're buying into the rally. 44.55 here. $15,309, $15,310, holding it. Take a look around the other sectors. Financial sector is cruising. Y is cruising. V is absolutely going nuts. Healthcare is just freaking rocketing. And this is why the market is so strong today, is that everything is up and holding up. Nothing is selling off. Energy, healthcare, which are traditionally counters of the rest of the S&P, are all up. That's up. The Dow is up. The Russell is up. Everything is just up. So there's going to be very little weakness when the entire market is jumping on and buying up. 15,310. 15,311, 12, and about to wipe out highs. $15,312, 15, 14. NASDAQ is about to blast. There's 317 here coming up 320. The volume is still increasing, so they're still buying into it. This is not weakening. This is strengthening. This is about to go to 13,350. 15,350. Straight up under increasing volume. This is an algorithmic day where it doesn't matter what happens. The algorithms are keyed to buy today to get all of those contracts for OPEX, quad witching. Just get out of the way or long, either one. $15,315. $312,320 down to 15,300. I'm not really seeing all that clear on book in terms of Bookmap. It's just moving on up. Same stuff we've been having all day. My voice is shot today, man. This is my 7th stream in 2 days. Shot. I'm chugging ice water just to cool it off. $460. Now we head back down to open. Wouldn't that be some crap? This thing comes all the way back down. They would have to completely shift the entire makeup of this chart in order to do that. Well, I mean, it's definitely an incredible imbalance created for sure. But we're also talking about 300-point move, 200-point move. Got to think they're starting to form a new range. The demand's a little higher, it seems. Well, every time we move higher, we see how it reacts to see if it's going to shift that auction house. And this 15,300 and then the 44.50 we're seeing here on ES is holding. And we just recovered that aggressively. We came on back down, 15,260, and then immediately bought and went 60 points higher, which says that there's very little selling. The fact that we've come up into this area 44.50 and they haven't sold one iota, still, there's just no supply here. It's all demand. Melt up. The traded market, yeah. You know when I drop liquidity grab? It looks like it. So they trended it down all pre-market long. I mean, heck, Nasdaq dropped 150 points, and then one final push right at 8:30, one final push down, immediately bought up, and we haven't looked back, and it's been just rallying, raging all day long. And we come up and cuts this supply, and it doesn't drop at all. In fact, even right now, all the tech stocks are still going all-time high or new highs of the day, and just heading higher. I'm always eyeing dropping the price action for BCS entries. Nice. The month lows are higher. Go on Nasdaq and ES. Look at the monthly candles right now. The Nasdaq monthly candle is exponential, which is ridiculous to look at. Oh, big pop. Look at that. 15,328. Now we're coming for the grab of 350. Right there. Blasting. Nasdaq putting on 100 points like it's not even anything. Like it's nothing. It's crazy. Another pop up. 328. Going for 350. Going even higher. Now it's really starting to blast, and that's what you need to look at. Is they're increasing volume into the rally, causing these blasts. When they're buying into the rally, it's just going to go. And you see here, look at the volume down here. And then when they start buying the volume, look at the volume spike. Here, just going. They're bought into the rally. It didn't, you don't have any drop off in volume, kind of like a buying off of like a bouncing ball, kind of like dissipates. They're increasing it. It goes exponential. 15,320, 15,330. Now they're going for 350. Blasting. There we go. Even higher right there, still green. And that's 80-point bounce on Nasdaq. Just be frosty. That's right. Stay frosty. Heading higher. Bam, explosion. There's a 15.3. They're still buying into it. They're going to 15,350 right here. And that move right there just put me back in the green on the day. 15,336 and going. Bam. To the moon. I think I finally figured this thing out. I had 1 month straight, no losing days, and only 2 losing trades out of 17. Nice, Chris. That's beautiful. Well done. That's awesome. $15,332 going to $15,350. Security for family. That's #1 priority. And to help others. Help others. All right, 15,538 again. They're still buying into us, still increasing volume. Now they're going to 350. I'm still looking for any kind of liquidity shift higher. Nothing yet, except for the 13,350, and we're just still going. Why is there no volume on the Qs when the price goes higher? I don't know. Nasdaq's showing an increase in volume, and it's still going. That's the highest volume candle we've had since 11 o'clock. All I'm doing is riding these 4410 calls up and up and away. Ridiculous. 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 15,337 and just going. Just when you think you figured it out, the market is in up-only mode. And this game is about to have more wins and losses. Nice. Yeah, it is. Why are calls so cheap compared to puts? It depends where we're going. Let's take a look at the at-the-money positions. Yeah, I mean, you are right. Puts are far more expensive than calls right now. As we go higher, people start to pile into protections and speculation. That's the only thing I could figure. $15,540, and here coming up for 350. 15,350, shifting liquidity higher. And we're just straight on going. I have no idea when this rally is going to stop today. I know the volume is still building into this. We have no top wicks and we're just rallying. 15,350 would be the next sign of any kind of pressure. And I think that's where here's what I'm thinking about, because I am holding a weekly call credit spread for those who are not in the community. This morning I hedged with 4410 calls, and the calls are up nearly 100% right now, which has made me a lot of money today, not to mention my 3 additional calls that I took on the way up. So it's actually made me green on the day, which is beautiful. And now what I'm going to do is that when we get to 15,350, I'm going to close the 4410 hedges, or at least close most of them except for a couple of runners. And then if we go up higher, I'm just closing out the call credit spread. It's already breached, but I've hedged off the losses because of the hedge today. At that point, it's just too much too fast. I can't hedge in front of a freight train, and that's what this has turned into. So I just got to cut the position and then leave all the runner hedges, make a little bit of extra money, and roam about the cabin. Am I trading options intraday or for long periods also? Both. I'm doing them both. Price action is Calgon. All right, so yeah, we're coming up on top of the hour. Hope you all realized like how I use this liquidity shift higher. Once I started them, I wasn't really quite sure coming on down, but when they got down here, they took off this liquidity. They took off the 262 and they started bringing it in higher, and then the volume. So I used the liquidity shift higher back up to 350, and then the increase in volume on the way up, them buying into that. If we had a drop off in volume, like a collective drop off, I would look for a double top rejection at 326. But with the increase in volume, up and away, 13,350. Monos or rebus, take the calls and kick back. Do you agree that people close out their calls if there's such a huge move up? Theoretically, market makers should offload shares since they won't need to hold as many. Well, they reduce their exposure. They reduce their exposure on the way up here. Not to mention they have to delta shift. There's a certain position that there's a certain deltas they need to maintain positioning, and as these deltas kind of pump, they need to offload positions. Or they start protecting by adding short premium or puts to protect their portfolios, which creates the skew in the option chain, which moves the VIX a little bit differently because now the VIX is not acting appropriately. Normally out of such a strong freaking day today where we would see the VIX sell off, but the VIX is actually maintaining 14. It's not even moving, which tells me that all that positioning, there's no more roll in the VIX, at least right now. There's no more roll in the VIX because you can't roll it anymore. The position size for this market condition is where it's at, and now it's just dealing with quad witching. There's 13,344, and watch out, here comes 350. Right up here. You're welcome. There's 15,346. Coming up on a 300-point move on NASDAQ. Yet another. How many days have NASDAQ put on 300 points? That's got to be some sort of record for like the amount of 300-point days we've had in the past 2 months. It's crazy. Here's 350. We got 348, 349, 350. There's 350. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my 4410 hedges, which are well over 100% now. In fact, they're coming up on 200% now. They're at 170% right now. Now it's going even higher, 13,350. 100-point unhinged move. Still going. Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. This market. It's amazing. Wish I jumped in back with you. Don't ever know. I've learned my 3 years of trading. Don't chase. Yeah. 13,360. Now I don't even know what's happening. This is ridiculous. I'm not. I'll let you know when I close out these 44.10s, but this is going. This is going. I am going to take a couple of contracts here, though. It's just too good. Just too good. I'm sure shorts are capitulating now. They've been capitulating all week, all month, man. This is absurd. This is beyond absurd. It's just going. Every single day on NASDAQ is a strong trend up, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. All right. That's great for my bottom line, though. I'll take it. 44.64. $30 more points and we'll be a 100-point day on ES. Call's been the play for sure. I'll tell you what, man. I was sweating 2022, not liquidating my long-term account, but this is absolutely phenomenal. Dodged a bullet on that one. We would call you Neo. That's right. Just got back and saw the charts. We going straight to 4,500? Probably. All right, so this is going to come up to the top of the hour, which is going to finish up our stream. Any questions before we wrap it up? Is your strategy work in this market? I mean, am I making money even if it's ridiculous every day? I mean, yeah, I made money today. I completely did not anticipate this crazy move, and I still made money. For me, what benefits my system is the fact that I come in every day and treat it as if it's a new market. I don't pigeonhole myself into a bias or back myself into a corner. I just play what happens today. And even like today, I didn't see it coming, and that's fine. I just put on a couple small trades, and this is my fourth and final trade. Is the best trade of the day. My hedge for the CCS ended up being a pretty phenomenal win here. It's almost 200% win. But I just roll with the punches. I haven't transitioned to swing trading yet. Like I've done a couple of swings, but nothing crazy, because this market's all over the place. I can't really get a good read on this long term. So I'm just playing day to day and week to week, putting on some premium writing, call credit spreads. It looks like this one's going to be a loss, although the hedging is doing beautifully. And yeah. Thanks, Chris. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Goldman Sachs just said it sees a much higher than average chance at the S&P 500, the 500 S&P, 5% downwards move over the next month. Yep, I'll believe it when I see it. So, all right, y'all, there's top of the hour. I have to sign off so the next person can jump on the Bookmap stream. Thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate you taking the time to spend some time with us, ask questions, great interaction. Obviously, the market is blasting. Just keep on riding until she bucks you. That's all I can tell you. I'll let you know when I close out the 44.10s. And like I said, once I close those out, I'll probably quickly close out the call credit spreads if this continues to go up, which it looks like it will. So, love y'all. I'll see y'all next Thursday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time in the Bookmap Discord and the Bookmap YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm out. See ya.